Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our Facebook Live session. We talk Nogales, transmitting from the Nogales Multipurpose Recreation Center, where we're holding our vaccination campaign against COVID-19. My name is Eladio Pereira. I'm the Chief Medical Officer of the Mariposa Community Health Center. And with me is my colleague and Assistant Medical Director, Dr. Phil Williams. Welcome, Dr. Williams.
Thank you so much, Dr. Pereira. I appreciate it. It's always a pleasure.
Thank you. And again, I want to thank our colleagues, Marco and Edgardo, for helping us put this together. Of course, the Mariposa leadership for supporting this activity. And we're here, it's Friday, and we're doing our vaccination campaign. We continue to do that. Today we are administering Moderna vaccine. And we have a few topics to discuss with you today. I'll begin regarding the Johnson & Johnson vaccine. That's a topic that is being covered everywhere. And unfortunately, the CDC and the FDA did recommend a pause in the vaccination with the J&J vaccine, specifically related to the risk of thrombocytopenia and clot formation. Specifically, the clots are in the brain, cerebral venous sinus thrombosis, exclusively in women 18 through 48 years of age that have been vaccinated 6 to 13 days earlier. The pause was recommended pending additional review by certain groups, including CDC, FDA, and other immunization experts. Following those guidelines at Mariposa, we suspended the vaccination immediately. We contacted the patients who had appointments with J&J vaccine. We offered them the Moderna vaccine. And vaccination was given. That's unfortunate. You know, J&J offers some advantages for individuals who just want one shot, individuals who travel that cannot come back for a second dose, etc. But we'll follow the suit. That's the way it has been, right, Dr.
Exactly. You know, I think it's also important to say that, I think it's really important that people don't lose sight that vaccines are the only real way that we have to mitigate and decrease the spread of the virus. It really is our main tool to battle. And even with the news from Johnson & Johnson, people should not lose faith in vaccines. Yeah. For instance, we've given around 70 million Moderna and Pfizer vaccines. With essentially no severe right. Side effects. So absolutely. Please do not lose faith. Please still get vaccinated.
For those individuals who have received J&J vaccine, the CDC does recommend to be alert to symptoms. Those are sudden severe headache, abdominal pain, leg pain, and shortness of breath within 3 weeks of the vaccine. Those are the symptoms to look for. If you develop those symptoms, please contact your healthcare provider for appropriate testing. So that's on the J&J, again, on hold for now. We're still using our Moderna vaccine, and I'll talk about Pfizer in just a moment. As you know, Pfizer vaccine is approved for those who are 16 years of age and older. And I'm going to let Dr. Williams talk a little bit about the Pfizer emergency use authorization in the younger age group, 12 to 15. Dr. Williams, you want to comment on that?
Of course. One, it's super exciting. We now have a vaccine for kids. The Moderna and Johnson & Johnson, of course, are currently 18 and above, even though for Moderna especially, I think that will change shortly. But Pfizer recently asked for emergency use authorization for their vaccine for 12 and above. Currently, the Pfizer vaccine is approved for 16 and above, but probably in the next couple of weeks, it will be approved for 12 and above, which is great news. Honestly, I think that by the return of school for next year, it's likely that we're going to have vaccine options really for all school-age children. As you know, the Moderna, also has started testing 12 and above. They've started recruiting subjects for 6 months and above.
Right.
So, very, very shortly, we will be able to vaccinate our kids as well.
Sí. Vamos a hablar un poquito en español. Comentamos que la vacuna de Johnson Johnson la suspendimos por los reportes de coagulación y plaquetas bajas. Esa información vino a través del CDC y del FDA. Tan pronto recibimos la información, suspendimos la vacuna inmediatamente. Aquellos pacientes que tenían citas, le ofrecimos la vacuna Moderna y los vacunamos. Estamos esperando guía de esas agencias acerca de esa vacuna. Aquellos pacientes que se han vacunado con la vacuna de Johnson Johnson y tienen síntomas de dolor de cabeza, dolor abdominal, dolor en las piernas, hinchazón en las piernas o problemas respirando, por favor contacten su doctor para evaluación. El doctor Williams habló de la vacuna de Pfizer, está aprobada para aquellos pacientes 16 años y hacia arriba. Acaban de someter un pedido de autorización de uso de emergencia para niños de 12 a 15 años. Esperamos que eso se apruebe para empezar a vacuna, pero parece ser que vamos a tener vacunas disponibles para los niños este año. Aquí en Mariposa acabamos de recibir la vacuna de Pfizer. La vamos a usar para vacunar a niños de 16, 17 años, porque en este momento no tienen otra alternativa. La vacuna Moderna y, como dijo el doctor William, Johnson Johnson, están autorizadas para 18 años para arriba, 16 y 17. Pfizer es la única, así que vamos a empezar a vacunar el sábado, abril 24, y el domingo, el lunes, abril 26, para aquellas personas 16, 17 años. Se pueden comunicar con el condado de Santa Cruz al 375-7626 o pueden ir en línea y registrarse. Muy importante. Entonces, ese es el seguimiento. Le voy a pedir al doctor Williams que hable un poquito acerca de la comunicación reciente acerca de las superficies contaminadas. I'm going to have Dr. Williams talk a little bit about the CDC changing their risk assessment regarding contaminated surface as very, very low. We kind of knew that. This is a respiratory virus, so mostly transmitted by respiratory droplets, airborne, etc. So that's good news. You want to comment on that?
Exactly. We get a lot of questions of, what should I disinfect? If I get mail, if I get food, if I, get a package from Amazon or from Pfizer, or Amazon or from Walmart, should I, disinfect it? So again, you mentioned it's a respiratory virus, which are spread by droplets. So it's mainly, the close contact, the coughing, the sneezing, the spread of large quantities of droplets that cause the disease. Right. So, exactly just like you said, in terms of risk of spread from surfaces, it is very, very, very low.
Right. So the idea is that even after you're vaccinated, we still want our patients to use their mask, to keep the distance and follow the usual precaution. That hasn't changed. Which brings me to the final topic of this morning's discussion. It's about breakthrough infection. The companies have released data in terms of the risk. We know they're very effective to prevent death, serious infection, hospitalizations. But the CDC has now released data in terms of breakthrough infection. We've seen some of that. We do know that the vaccines may not necessarily prevent the acquisition of the virus, but what it does, it prevents serious illness. And we actually seen a few patients who became infected after the first dose, typically. But the CDC has now put out some information about breakthrough, and I'm going to let Dr. Williams expand, but it looks like being over 5,000 cases reported by CDC, which emphasizes the importance of vaccination, because even if you get infected, the risk of serious illness is much, much lower. So I'm going to have Dr. Williams expand a little bit on this breakthrough.
Yeah, exactly. It's been well reported that really all the vaccines, are 95% effective. So, if you look at, 70 million doses given, if you have roughly 5,800 people that have been infected, it's obviously a very, very, very low number. So, unfortunately, it's not 100%, but it's close, right?
Yeah.
Something else to say is that, the variants, obviously, you've seen in the news. There's the UK variant, the B.1.1.7. There's other variants that are emerging. Currently, all the vaccines appear effective against all the different variant strains.
Right. So we want to promote vaccination. As Dr. Williams said earlier, this is our best hope to mitigate the risk of COVID-19. And here in Santa Cruz County, we continue to vaccinate. Our vaccination rate for the population is pretty high. In fact, we were notified this morning that we were the #1 county in our state, just under 44%, which is great news. We hope that our residents continue to accept the vaccine as a way. The cases remain relatively low. We attribute that to the vaccination, and we ask our residents and other people who live here to please become vaccinated. Do not lower your guard. Still need to wear a mask and do the other things we talked about at length previously, because there's still about 60,000 cases a day in the U.S. In some areas, there's a significant surge. We've seen that in the news. There are some states that are really being attacked again, particularly in children. And so we do recommend vaccination. We're very fortunate to have Pfizer vaccine available for that 16 to 17 age group. As soon as the FDA approves the EUA for Pfizer, we'll begin to lower the age group 12 to 15. And certainly after the other vaccines, whether it's Moderna or Pfizer, for the younger age group, we'll begin vaccination right away. That's our more important activity at the moment, right, Dr. Williams?
Exactly. And for those who have not received the vaccine, please go to the County Health Department website. Yeah. There's a link that you press. You can actually schedule your own appointment to receive the vaccine. Again, you don't need to receive a call from either Mariposa or the county. You can actually schedule your appointment directly. Yeah. It's a huge, game changer. A lot of hard work went into making that system available. So we encourage everyone to please take advantage of it.
Y aquí en el gimnasio en Hogares tenemos médicos que ayudan a contestar preguntas. Es muy importante vacunarse para reducir el riesgo de COVID-19. El doctor Williams reportó que ha habido casos donde el paciente ha tenido la infección de COVID-19 después de la vacuna, pero queremos mencionar que el propósito principal de la vacuna es bajar el riesgo de enfermedad seria. Hemos visto varios casos donde pacientes han adquirido la infección después de la primera dosis, pero no se han enfermado seriamente, y precisamente eso es lo que queremos ver. El CDC ya ha reportado casos, pero queremos promover y estimular la idea de vacunas. Vamos a empezar a vacunar con la vacuna de Pfizer para 16, 17 años el sábado que viene, para ofrecer protección a nuestra juventud. Y tan pronto tengamos más información acerca del grupo 12 a 15, nos comunicamos con usted a través de esta transmisión. Yo creo que con eso concluimos la transmisión. I think we're going to conclude today's transmission with that. We want to thank everybody, Marco and Edgardo, Dr. Williams, Mariposa Leadership, and our partners, the county, the health department, City of Nogales, the rec, volunteers, shares, everyone who made this possible. This has been a monumental effort, and we thank everybody for that. Le agradecemos a todos, gracias por el apoyo. Seguimos aquí en el gimnasio de Nogales. Cualquier pregunta, aquí estamos. Buenas tardes, gracias por su apoyo. Nos vemos la semana que viene. Gracias.
Transmitiendo nuestra comunidad al mundo.